You are John, an unhappy 20-year-old university student. You are dreaming a very odd dream. It starts out normal enough. You're in your room at home, you have some homework to do, and then suddenly you feel like something is wrong. Something isn't right about this situation. This is not the way that dreams usually go for you. You try to wake yourself up by trying to think of happy things or anything really, but nothing seems to help. You look at yourself in the dream. You are wearing jeans and a t-shirt, and you also have on a pair of athletic shoes. Your hair is still in its usual messy state. The only thing different about this dream is that you can see yourself from above, as if looking down at yourself from the ceiling of your bedroom window. You watch yourself in the dream walk over to your wardrobe and open it. You stand there for a moment just staring at the wardrobe. You watch yourself pull out a pair of women's shoes and hold them in your hands. You have no idea why you are holding women's shoes, let alone why you are dreaming about them. You watch yourself put the women's shoes back into the wardrobe and close it. You hesitate, then open the wardrobe again. You reach back in and pull out the women's shoes and look at them closely. You try to rationalize why a man would wear women's shoes. You continue to watch yourself in the dream as you put the women's shoes on your feet. They are strangely comfortable. They are black and have a slender and short heel. They also have an open toe and are made out of some sort of soft leather. You don't know why you are wearing women's shoes, but they feel good. You therefore stand in front of the mirror and begin to take off your male clothing. First you pull off your shirt and feel the cool air of the room against your bare skin. You then unbutton your jeans and slide them off. You now are standing completely naked in front of the mirror except for the black shoes. You look at yourself but don't like what you see. You are thin and scrawny, and short for a boy. You've never been popular. You've had a few girlfriends but it never lasted. Looking at your naked body in the mirror, you wish that could all change. You look at your body again, but this time you see yourself with female attributes. Your hair is long and flowing, and your skin is smooth and soft. Your body is slender and curved in all the right places. You think you look like some kind of model. You turn from side to side and see yourself from every angle. This is so cool, you think as you examine your reflection. In this dream, you are still only wearing the elegant high-heeled shoes. They feel even more comfortable than before. Examining yourself in the mirror, you feel an overwhelming feeling of lust. Wow, I must really be horny if I'm feeling this turned on. You are slender and curvy. You have D-cup breasts and a very ample ass. Your legs are long and elegant, and your skin is soft and smooth. Your long blonde hair flows over your shoulders and down your back. You feel a strange sensation in your stomach that you have never felt before. It feels like butterflies, only it's a very pleasurable sensation. Embracing the dream, you walk over to your dresser, inexplicably barefoot again, to find some lingerie to wear. You pick out a black lace thong, a matching lace bra, and a garter belt. You slowly slide the thong up your legs and feel the silky fabric slide up your smooth thighs. You pull the thong up and over your hips and sensuously wiggle them until you get them up around your waist. Pulling the thong up as far as it will go, its lacy fabric settles against your new womanhood. For the first time you realize how complete your transformation is in this dream. Even your cock is gone, replaced by a pussy. The thought excites you, and you slide your hand down to feel your new slit. You reach behind your back to unclasp your bra, and as you do so you feel the soft touch of fabric on your breast. You lift the bra away and take in the sight and feel of your naked breasts. They are perfect, and the touch of air against your sensitive nipples feels amazing. Then you feel an unexpected hesitancy at exploring your naked body. You put the bra back on, and search in the wardrobe for clothes to wear. You find a short black leather miniskirt and a pink corset. You put the corset on first, then tighten it as much as you can before reaching behind to do up the laces. You pull on the miniskirt and examine your reflection. Pleased by what you see there, you then search for appropriate footwear. You find a pair of high-heeled platform shoes with 5-inch stiletto heels. You pick them up and return to the full-length mirror on the back of your wardrobe door. You stand in front of it and put them on. You gasp at the sight of them and feel the blood rush to your head as you wobble slightly. You've never worn heels before, especially not ones that tower like this. Even in a dream, they feel strange and awkward, yet also titillating and exciting. Taking a few tentative steps, you start to get used to the feeling of wearing them. You take a few more steps, getting used to the shoes, and slowly start to feel comfortable in them. Your legs feel light and airy as your heels touch the floor with every step you take. You turn and twist in front of the mirror and enjoy the sight of your thighs and ass moving with your smooth new curves. Finally, your dream self suddenly feels a powerful need to do herself up properly. A feeling begins to grow in you, as though time is running out before someone arrives. Moving with some urgency, and as quickly as your shoes will allow, you search for some makeup. You find it in a handbag next to the bed, which you unclasp and open. Inside is an array of beauty products, including several colorful lipsticks, blushers and eyeshadows of various colors, and a black mascara tube. You quickly take them out and line them up on your dressing table, then sit down in front of the mirror. The real you has never even touched a tube of lipstick before, but your dream self moves with an assured grace as she begins to paint her face. First, you apply a layer of foundation, smoothing it over your skin. Then, you take the black mascara tube and carefully apply it to your lashes, making them stand out and giving your eyes a wider, more open appearance. You take the blusher next and sweep it across your cheekbones, giving your cheeks a soft, feminine glow. Finishing, you then take one of the lipsticks and carefully apply it to your lips, drawing attention to their plumpness and fullness. You then take a tissue and wipe away the excess, making sure that the color is even. You stand back and look at your dream self in the mirror. What you see in the mirror takes your breath away. You look stunning. Your long hair has been tamed and flows down your back in gentle waves, your makeup accentuates your high cheekbones and full lips, and your eyes are open and wide and staring at you with an unearthly beauty. Your eyes travel down across your body, taking in your curves and your charms. Your breasts are large and perky, sticking out against the tight material of your pink corset, your waist is tiny and your hips are wide and inviting. Your long legs are covered with black silk stockings that lead up to a short black leather miniskirt that only just covers your ass. You smile at your dream self, seeing how stunning you look. You feel a strange pride at how good you look. At the same time, you remember that this is a dream and that you are really a boy. This confuses you, and you decide that it doesn't matter. If this is a dream, you're going to enjoy it. A soft tapping sound at your door startles you. You turn, placing your hand over your chest and feeling your racing heart, and call out, "Who's there?" "It's me," says a gentle voice from outside the door. The voice sounds familiar, but you can't quite place it. "Who's me?" you call back, taking a step toward the door. "John," comes the answer. "Let me in. I need to talk to you." You hesitate, frowning. "I know you're in there. I saw you walk in here." Profound confusion seizes you. John is you. But then, who are you? If your male self stand outside that door, then girl, you must be some other person. You have a sudden urge to open the door, but you're afraid of what you'll find on the other side. "Go away," you call. There's no one here called John. Silence follows, and you hold your breath, wondering what will happen next. "So, you're still pretending?" says the voice. "Still trying to hide from the truth? You've had 19 years. It's time to grow up and face reality. Go away, you shout. Leave me alone. A sigh comes through the door. I'll leave you alone when you let me in, the voice says. Let me in, and I'll go away. Go away, you shriek, terrified. You're shaking, and your skin feels like ice. Never, the voice says softly. We'll never part. Then tell me who I am, you shout at the door. Tell me who I am. Silence follows, and then a final voice speaks, deep and booming. You are the girl in the mirror, it says. Look behind you, and you'll see me smiling back at you. You whirl around, but of course there's no one there. You turn back to the mirror. Staring back at you is your reflection, unchanged. You look like a girl. You are a girl. But who are you? You don't know. The thought terrifies you. You whimper, turning this way and that in front of the mirror. Yes, the voice asks, taunting you. Go on. You say again, your voice trailing off. Yes, the voice asks again. You stare at your reflection, tears welling up in your eyes. You're so close to knowing who you are, but you can't quite reach it. Who are you? Let me help you, the voice of John, your male self, from beyond the door. Let me choose a name for you. You stare into the eyes of your reflection. They're your eyes, but they look different. The longer you stare, the more you see the same eyes looking back at you from other faces. Your eyes. Alice, says John from beyond the door. Your name is Alice. A feeling of contentment washes over you as you stare into your reflection's eyes. Alice, you whisper. My name is Alice. That's right, says the voice from beyond the door. Alice. I chose that name for you. I am Alice, you say, nodding slowly. I am Alice. You stare into your reflection's eyes. She stares back, nodding slowly. Yes, she whispers. I am Alice. And now, the voice of John continues from beyond the door. Will you let me in? Yes, you say. I'll let you in. Open the door, Alice, says the voice. You turn away from the mirror and walk towards the door. You take a deep breath and reach for the handle. Sudden fear grips you as your hand touches the handle. Taking notice of your hands for the first time, you pick out the details of your slender fingers, of your painted nails, of your pale skin. Part of you wants to open the door, to let John in. The other part of you is terrified. Terrified of what he will think when he sees you. I'm beautiful, you whisper to yourself, staring at your reflection in the brass handle. I'm a beautiful girl. You take a deep breath and open the door. Light washes over you as the door glides open, and you shield your eyes from the sudden intrusion of brightness. When your eyes adjust to the light, you find yourself staring at a man. He smiles at you warmly, but his eyes betray his fear. Hello, Alice, says the man. I'm John. His appearance is intimately familiar to you because, of course, John is you, John is your male self. For the first time, however, you feel doubt that John is your real self, outside of this dream. You step aside, allowing John into your room. He walks past you into the center of the room, turning to watch you as you close the door. So, he says, smiling at you. This is your room. You look around your room, taking notice of all the little details you'd never really seen before. You look at your bookshelf, noticing all of the classics, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, The Time Machine, Dracula, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and many more. What else does he notice? You wonder. This is your room and you are Alice, and what does Alice's room contains that reveals her personality? Nice bookshelf, says John, his voice snapping you back to reality. You have some nice books. Thanks, you say, staring at him. His eyes are a beautiful shade of color like your dad's. You wonder what he is thinking as he stares at you. So, he says, cautiously, can you tell me about yourself? This is a trick question, you think to yourself. But you answer anyway, unable to stop yourself. I'm Alice. I'm a girl. This is my room. These are my books. I like to read. That's a good start, he says, smiling at you. What do you like to read? I like to read about crossdressing, you blurt out before you can stop yourself. He raises an eyebrow, then smiles at you. Good, he says. Go on. You stare at him, your mouth half open. What do you like to read about crossdressing? He asks again. I like to read about the experiences of other crossdressers, you say, blushing. I like to read about their tales. John smiles at you. Go on, he says. You shake your head. No. Even in a dream, you dare not admit this to yourself. It is too shameful. This is not something you want to face. Better to live out the fantasy in a dream than face the embarrassing truth in reality. I want you to tell me your story, he says. I want you to tell me what happened when you went out dressed as a girl for the very first time. You stare at him, then sigh. No matter how hard you try, you can't escape it. You have to face the truth. And so you begin. Well, you begin, pausing as you try to remember. I had just gotten out of the shower and I was getting ready to go out. I was 16, I think. It was summer vacation and I had nothing better to do, so I decided to go out. Go on, he says, smiling at you encouragingly. I was so nervous. I was afraid someone would recognize me, yet I still decided to go out in my sister's clothes. She's a few years older than me, so her clothes were a little more fashionable, I guess. I grabbed her purse and I headed out the door. My mom saw me and just told me to have fun, not realizing it was me. What did you do then? He asks. I bought a bottle of wine with my sister's ID and I went down to the park. I sat there for a while, drinking, and trying to ignore the fact that I was scared and excited by the fact that I was scared. Eventually, I decided I'd had enough. I got up to leave, and that's when it happened. What happened? He asks, leaning closer to you. There were these 3 guys in the park. They were around my age and drunk. I guess. They came up to me and started hitting on me. I tried to get away, but they followed me. One of them grabbed my arm and turned me around to face him. What did he look like? John asks. He had short brown hair and the beginning of a beard, the kind of thing a teenage boy might grow. He was probably a year or 2 older then. He was tall and thin but had the build of an athlete. He looked like the kind of guy that would be a high school quarterback. What happened next? He put his hands on my waist. I told him to get off, but he didn't listen. He slid his hands around my back and tried to pull me towards him. I hit him in the face with my elbow and he stumbled backwards. What happened next? I turned to run and bumped into the other 2 guys. When I turned back around, the first guy was right in my face. He looked really pissed off. I could smell the alcohol on his breath. Did he recognize you as a boy? Not at first. He just started yelling at me and calling me a bitch. I tried to tell him I wasn't a girl, but he didn't listen. He just kept getting closer and closer until I could feel his breath on my face. Did he kiss you? He tried, but I turned my face away at the last second. That's when I felt his hand on my chest. He grabbed the front of my shirt and yanked it open. What did you do? I was so scared. I just froze up. He kept yelling at me and saying I was a bitch. Then he slapped me across the face. Did you fight back? No. I was too scared. I just stood there and took it. Did he hurt you? Yes. You gulp, and your eyes drop to the floor. Yes, he did. I'm sorry to hear that, he says. It's okay. It's over now. So what happened? He kept yelling at me for a few seconds. Then he punched me in the stomach. Did it feel like this? He punches you in the stomach and you exhale loudly, your breath leaving your body. Yes, you say, catching your breath. But only partly. Did it feel like this? He spits in your face. The sudden aggression from John, and your passive, almost nonchalant acceptance of it, should surprise you, but this is a dream, and so you take it in stride. In a way, it barely even hurts, the rigid boning and stiff fabric of the corset seemingly absorbing the blows. John continues. Did it feel like this? He grabs your hair and pulls your head back. Yes, you say, as he releases you. Did it feel like this? He wraps his hands around your throat and begins to throttle you. You don't even try to fight back. You just stare at him in a mixture of fear and wonder as you start to choke. Yes, you say, as your head begins to spin. He releases you and steps back. The room is spinning and all you can see is his face, smiling at you. Did it feel like this? He throws you to the floor and rips off your skirt while you gasp in shock. No, you say, scrambling away from him. You stand up and back away from him. He steps towards you, but you are ready. You slap his face hard and scream never. Oh, he says, stepping back. So is that what happened? You stare at him for a second and then nod slowly. But that isn't where it ended, is it? John asks. His voice has lowered, and his posture is no longer threatening. Rather, he falls into a crouch and looks up at you, almost sadly. No, you say, shaking your head. You step over to the bed and sit down, consciously bending at the knees and folding your legs to one side, your posture straight and rigid. Remembering that day, that moment isn't where you wanted to go with this dream, to the extent you had any control over it. Why couldn't it have stayed as it was, a brief escape for reality, a joyful dressing up and escape into fantasy? Yet here you are. It ended dash you begin to say, and simultaneous John speaks, too, it ended dash. You both continue, your voices joining as one. As these things always seem to. And yet it wasn't so simple. That boy, that day, with drink on his breath as though that excused anything, slapped you, then punched you. He tore off your shirt and threw you to the ground. He kicked you. As his friends watched. They didn't cheer him on. They didn't say anything. They simply watched in terrible silence as the larger boy crouched over your crumpled form. In a moment of unexpected tenderness is too forgiving a word, abetted violence perhaps, he cradled your head in his hands and tilted your face towards you and leaned forward and kissed you softly on the lips. Through your tears and streaking, stinging mascara, you looked back at him. Your eyes met his in a moment you never quite forgot, no matter how deeply you buried the memories of everything else that happened before and after. You saw in those eyes a reflection of your own fear, self-hatred, desire, and hope. You saw momentary regret and sadness flicker across those eyes, then jealousy and then hatred. Finally, you saw the promise of violence and pain. The boy kicked you, and soon his friends joined in again. They battered you and left you there in your sister's clothing, now torn and bloody, by the beach. You woke up in the hospital. John looks up at you sadly. It ended as these things always do. I don't want to remember, you say, and you sniffle. John moves to your side and holds you gently. He strokes your hair. I know. It was my fault, you say. No, it wasn't. I should have fought back harder, you say. No, he says. I shouldn't have gone outside at all, you say. You pause and look into his eyes. You are looking for confirmation of this truth. 16 and wearing your sister's clothes out in public. Your first time fully dressed and outside. And you pushed the boundaries, took risks. You bought alcohol with your sister's ID. You sat on a bench by the seaside and thrilled in the sensation of the wind tickling your bare legs and tugging at your hair, and loving low wayward strands stuck to your lip gloss. You repressed this memory as well, how happy and content you felt, dressed as Alice, for the first time in public on a sunny day under a crystal blue sky. John gives you a brief hug. Should you have gone outside? John asks. You feel a sudden surge of anger. I was happy, you say. You feel a wave of panic. I had fun for the first time in years. You feel tears streaming down your face. It was the best day of my life, you say, and sob. Then it wasn't your fault, John says. Happy moments are never ruined by tragedy. You hug him tightly. I love you, you say. I love you too, he replies. And in that moment, you realize that John is about to leave. I have to go, he says. You take a deep breath and nod. I know. I don't think we'll ever meet again. He smiles at you and kisses you on the cheek. Bye, John, you say. Bye, Alice. He turns and leaves you forever. You sit alone on the cold floor. It is impossible to know for how long you sit there. After all, this is a dream. But then, you stand up. You return to the mirror where this all started. You stare deeply into the mirror. Then, you smile. You unfasten your skirt and remove your blouse. A moment's effort releases the front hooks of the corset and you cast it aside. Then you take off your shoes and remove your stockings. You unhook your bra and toss it aside. You slip off your panties and look at yourself in the mirror. You look at your naked, honest self in the mirror. The real you is a beautiful girl. You are tall and slim, with long blonde hair. You are a little embarrassed by your nakedness, but you accept it. After all, this is the real you. This isn't about the clothes, at least, not anymore. You look at the clothes you've cast aside. The corset, the garter belt, the stockings, the shoes, and the skirt. You look at them for a long time. Then, you turn your back on them. You realize you yearn for something more, a truth you suspected you always desired but suppressed for too long. You step up close to the mirror until you can only see your face. You stare deep into those slate gray eyes. The smooth skin, untroubled by stubble. Your thin nose, high cheekbones, and pouty but downturned lips. A light sprinkling of freckles. A few strands of wayward blonde hair. This is you, and only now, in this dream, do you realize that this has always been you. You stare into your own eyes for a long, long time. You feel the need, no, the desire well up inside you. A desperate, all-consuming desire to. You swallow nervously and try again, and this time you find your voice. I am a girl. You stare at yourself in the mirror, and in your reflection you can see yourself accepting it, no, embracing it. I am a girl. 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 You repeat it to yourself, again and again and again, each time a little louder. I am a girl. You throw your head back and laugh, the sound of your laughter filling the room. You can feel the air around you vibrate with the force of your voice. A smile slowly spreads across your face. You can feel the warmth of tears in your eyes. I am a girl. You open your eyes and stare at your reflection. You see a girl, a young woman, gazing happily back at you. Your blonde hair falls down in front of your shoulders. Your eyes are bright and clear. Your face is soft and rounded. You slowly reach out and touch your reflection. Your fingers caress your cheeks, trace your lips. You lean in close and kiss yourself on the mirror. I am a girl, you say. The words feel so right, so natural, so perfect. You turn away from the mirror and take a deep breath. I am Alice, you declare. You turn and walk from the room. And in another room, not in a dream, Alice wakes up.